Okay, good. So if I don't use music, I can put the recording on YouTube. So that's why sometimes I don't use the music so that I can get it right out to you guys. Otherwise, I have to send you a file, and needless to say, it might be too big for your computer. So just get the knees pulling in really tight, and then let the left leg straighten. Now take an in-breath, and then exhale and tuck your chin so get the knee in really snug, making yourself really round. And you can reach the left heel out now and pull the toes back. And then gently, slowly tuck your chin as you lower your lower back and then middle back down. And do that one more time. Take an inhale. Tuck your chin up and keep the left heel reaching out. Pull the toes back. Get the knee in really tight. And now keep your chin tucked as you lower. This will help to get into the low back and the hip, and a lengthen the back of the head, the neck out. And then you lower. And then come on into circles. Bringing that knee around. Breath. And then you can just gently bring the knee from side to side, letting the elbow bend. And I hope you had a great weekend and enjoyed the maybe a little break from outside in the rain, and yeah, maybe some reading. Now just take that leg up in the air, and with the bent knee, pull the foot towards you and then pull the toes back. Now, once again, take an inhale and then exhale and tuck the body in. So you want to really pull the knee in, keep that left heel reaching out, and press the thigh, if you're getting in that snug, right into the rib cage. And bring the nose up close to the leg. And then you can gently release, bend that right knee down, and then straighten the right leg. Take the left leg in, give a nice hug, a little bit to the outside. Keep the right leg reaching out and the toes pulling back. Keep a bend in the elbows. Now lifting the upper body, draw the chin in. Keep that right heel reaching out so you stretch through that right quad. And really tuck the chin to get into the low back more. Breathing. Good. Now keep the chin tucked as you slowly lower, and then the upper back comes down. And take an inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin, rise again. Keep that, rise again. Keep that right heel reaching out. Keep the chin tucked, the elbow bent. Really pulling in. Breath. And then once again, chin tucked and slowly lower down. Upper back. And then you can come on into circles with the knee. Coming around. And then the other direction. Good. So then you can go from side to side. And of course, I say of course, in that when I always like to give you this reminder once in a while, when you're doing your poses, if any of the poses are too much, like we always start with sun salutations, feel free to do this kind of a little ensemble before we do the sun salutations. It might feel so much easier for the hips and the low back. And then you can just release that leg. Now have both knees bent. Stretch the arms overhead, take a reach through the fingertips, spread the fingers, and then take the hands behind the head and interlace the fingers. Press the elbows back, and now lift the heels up off the floor and pull the knees in close as you press your elbows back. And then come on into circles with the knees coming around. You can use your core to really pull up and in to help your back. And then the other direction. Now, just so you understand the back, we always start with bends before we twist. And that's a good way to get space in the vertebrae before you twist. And then you pull the knees in. So if you're ever doing yoga on your own, do forward bends first, or knees to chest, anything that pulls you in and out from that bends you together rather. And then let the heels drop. And now you can release the arms, roll together as a unit over to your left side, pushing up to seated position. Now we'll take the hands right underneath the shoulders, knees hip width apart, and then tuck the toes under. Take an inhale, lift the eyes, arc the back, and then you can exhale and rise into your downward dog. Let the head fall and pull back from the core as you send the heels down to the floor. Get the inner thighs moving back as you lengthen. Just let your head dangle. And take 2 more breaths. Again, thighs active, keep pulling up, lengthening. Good, and now you can gaze up, come up onto the tiptoes, step the feet forward to the hands, come on halfway up, nice flat reach out, and then exhale, fold forward bend. Breathe in, lift, draw the palms together, and then exhale to your center. And again, let's start the salutations. Inhale, gazing up. Exhale, fold forward, forward bend. Breathe in, come halfway up, just touch. Exhale, fold forward. Planting the hands, jump or step the legs back. Let's rotate to the left side, either bend the knee or full plank. Take an inhale. Now to come into circles with the arms, so you're gonna circle all the way around. Take an in-breath as the arm comes up. In-breath up, exhale back down. Breathe in, lift. Come for 2 more. Breathe in, lift, and breath. Here we go. Okay, come on back. Rotating to the other side. Extend that right leg out, open the chest, and then come on into your circles. In-breath as you take that arm up, exhaling around, opening the chest. Again, nice in-breath, coming back, lift, exhale, 1 more, lift, coming back. Okay, good. From here, come right into plank, heating up the core. Have your heels reaching back, the inner thighs moving towards the ceiling as you lengthen the legs out. Now take the legs to the outside edges of the mat. Now today, you want to come really quick, together and wide, on your own, together and wide. And you're moving the heels out to warm up in through the hips. So keep the legs really like planks. Send the heels out, stretch the quads. We've got 4, 3, keep the heels reaching out. Again, the rib cage knitted up. So you're supporting your low back, last one. Together, I cheated. Okay, bend the knees, keep the toes tucked under. Exhale, send the chest forward and chin. And now keep the toes tucked under. Send the heels out and the knees up off the floor. Press the palms into the hands. The elbows are pressing back as you gaze ahead so the shoulders can come down. Keep the heels reaching as you pull up from the rib cage. So you're really activating in through the low back. And now point the toes, bend up, exhale, and rise back into your child's pose. Release the forehead to the floor and keep the palms reaching out. On your exhale, you're pulling the abdominal wall in. And breath. Excellent. And then on the inhale next, bring the arms up. Bring your body up rather, all over the arms. Tuck the toes under, take an inhale, lift the eyes, exhale, and rise into downward dog. Either stay in downward dog or come up on the right foot, take the left leg up, and then bend that left heel in. Circle out from the knee as you're opening there, getting that wonderful reach. And then you can extend the leg up, coming down. Reach the right heel up, bend that right heel in, circle the knee out, getting up high with the knee, use the core to lift, and then extend the leg out, and coming down, and pull the hips back as you're lengthening through the spine. Excellent. And then you can bend down onto the knees, and then take the arms over to the right, point the toes, and draw the left waist back. Release the weight of the head. Deep breath in. 1 more. Good. And then come on over to the left. Draw the right waist back. Again, release the weight of the head. Breathing. Breath. Excellent. And then come on back to your center, tuck the toes under, and now do a drop over to the right side for the right hip. Keep the toes tucked. The knees are naturally apart, just in like a tabletop position. And then you breathe in, exhale over to the left, let the hips tip, breathing. And now you can breathe in, come on over to the right, and then circle all the way around to the left. Get the hip way out there. One more time, circle way out. Super good for the outside hip. And good. Now come on back to your center. Toes still stay tucked. Take an in-breath, lift the eyes, exhale, rise into downward dog. And now we'll gaze up, come up onto the tiptoes, step the feet forward in between the hands. Come on, halfway up. And then exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, lift the arms, draw the palms together. Stay for a second. And then exhale and center, keeping the rib cage drawing in. And right into the next one, breathe in, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward, forward bend. Breathe in, come halfway up. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands, jump or step the legs back. Either full plank or bend that underside knee, lifting the underside waist, extend the arm over. Good, come back into circles, extending the arm out. Keep lifting the underside waist up. 2 more circles coming around. Breathing in up, and then exhale down. Rotating to the other side, keep that underside waist lifting. Extend the arm, and then taking the arm right into circles. Again, keep that underside waist lifting. The feet are stacked, or if it's easier, you can have the leg in front. That'll give you that wider base. More balance, one more. Inhale, come up, come back to your plank. Now take the feet to the outside edges of the mat, reaching the heels out, pull up from the rib cage, and that's it. You want to keep the ribs pulled in and keep the shoulder blades down as you're reaching the top of the head out. Legs are strong, shoulder blades are back. Now step the feet together, roll to the outside edge of the right foot. Keep the underside waist pulling in. Rotate to the other side. Breathing. Good. One more time to the right. Keep the rib cage pulling in. Back to your center. Rolling out. Now to your center. Bend your knees. Push the pubic bone forward. Exhale to lower. Keep the toes tucked under. Press into the elbows. Send the knees off the floor as the heels come back. Keep pressing into the palms as you lift from the rib cage. The shoulders are back. Keeping your breathing constant in and out through the nose, of course, and the heels are reaching. Then bend the knees, push up from your hands to point the toes, child's pose, the hips back. Release the weight of the forehead, the head down. And then just turn and look to your left. Come on to the left cheek or forehead. And breathe in and turn to the left, coming on to the right. Beautiful. Come on back up. Take the hands underneath the shoulders, tucking the toes under. Take an inhale, lift the eyes. And then you can exhale and rise into downward dog. Pull the inner thighs back, lengthening through the spine. Now do just a little turn of the head from side to side. Okay, now just relax, come into middle. We're going to bend the knees, come back down again. Walk the hands forward as far as you can reach. Take an inhale and then exhale and look up at your hands. So you're like a puppy and you're looking up at your paws and you're pulling your shoulder blades down. Really palm the mat with the hands. Stretch under the arms, the eyes lift high so you can get more of a stretch through the upper back. And in and out through the deep, deep breath. So you're stretching the back of the lungs. Good. One more nice full in breath. Good. Exhaling, take the hands right up underneath the shoulders. Inhale, gaze up, inhale. Yep, sorry, that we did that. Exhale, lift, lengthen through the spine. Now take your left leg straight up in the air. Keep the leg straight and reach the heel to the ceiling. Pull up strongly with your standing leg. Really lift up into that hip. Okay, now you're gonna do this. You're gonna bend the knee in and you're gonna bring it in towards your elbow, touch it, and then extend that left leg out. Or stay in the three-legged dog or in the downward dog one more time, pulling in, touch the knee to the heel, surprise, and then bring that leg down. Okay, bend the knees. Take the arms as far forward as you can reach, puppy pose. Keep the eyes lifted. Pull the bum bones back as you lengthen through the spine and palm the mat. Keep the exhale of the core pulling in as you gaze up. Okay, here we go. Come back, taking the hands under the shoulders. Take an inhale, lift the eyes. Exhale, rise, lift. Coming up with the right leg. Keep that leg really, really straight. Reaching up on the toes of the left foot. Long leg, reach, reach. Now bend that knee in. Bring it into the right elbow. Touch, and then extend the right leg up. Really good for the hip, Julian. And then pulling in, bend in to that elbow, lift, extend the right leg up, and then bring the right leg down. That was fantastic. And then just come on down onto your knees. And you can look up from there. So if the form was kind of, totally new, because I don't think I've taught this in like 15 years, the right leg comes up and you're bending, but you keep your hip high so you don't drop your body. So you keep your hip high, it gives you room for the knee to come through. And then you bend forward. See how the hands, you come forward. So you hinge from your back in order to get the knee like so. And then you can do that, lift back up, really good for the hip. Okay, and then from down on all fours, come back up into your downward dog. The viewing is over. And then gazing up, jumper step the feet to the hands. Come on, halfway up, nice flat back. Exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, scoop. Draw the palms together, keep the shoulders dropped. And then you can exhale the arms to center. Okay, that was really strong. We'll come into the next one. Breathing in, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward, forward bend, reach out through the crown. Breathe in, come halfway up, touch. Exhale, fold forward, planting the hands, jumper step the legs back. Coming into your side plank, either version. This time the arm comes in line with the ear. You lengthen out from the waist, take an extra breath. Really reach. And then you can windmill that arm around. Come on to the other side. Opening. Take that arm in line with the ear, reaching, lengthen. And then you can windmill that arm around. Come on back. Come from the elbows this time to release down into the plank. So you want the heels to reach back and keep the core pulling up. Now we're going to turn to the left and take your top right arm up. You can stack your feet, lift the underside waist, and keep that shoulder back. Do a little giggle, do a little. Okay, good. Now this arm dives. You come down and then you breathe in and lift. Coming down, breathe in and lift. Again, the underside waist lifting. Breathe in and lift. Down, breathe in and lift. We've got 4. Down, breathe in and lift. Yet another surprise. Breathing in and lift. Full of surprises today. Lifting, and last one. And lift, coming up. Okay, we rotate to the other side. I gotta face you. And lift that underside waist up. Opening through the rib cage. Excellent. Come up high, keep that shoulder blade back. Here we go. Touching down, breathe in and lift. Down, breathe in and lift. Coming down, breathe in, lift. Keep that underside waist lifting. Breath. Feet are stacked if you can, because then you'll be straight across the waist. Breathing, lift, touch, opening the shoulder back, so you really open the chest. Last one, and down. Then return to your plank. And if you can stay here, but if you can, take to the high plank. So take your hands in, lift, and then you lower down again. Lower and lift again. Coming up, pressing the heels back and lower. And then we'll lower to the floor. Keep the knees off the floor as you tuck the toes now in your Sphinx. Keep the elbows pressing down, legs activated strongly, and then bend. Take the hands right underneath the shoulders. Take an in-breath, arc the eyes, lift the eyes, arc the back. Exhale, round into the downward dog as you pull the bum bones up. You're lengthened through the spine by sending the inner thighs back. Now we'll come into the strong lift of the leg touching the elbows. So we take the left leg up and then bend that knee and keep the bum high, touch the elbow and lift one more time. Coming in, touching the elbow, extend out and up, coming down or stay in the downward dog, lifting that right leg up. Come in, touch that right elbow, lift, and again, coming in and lift, lengthen, bring that leg down. Now both legs up, bend them, I'm just kidding. Gazing up, come up onto the tiptoes, step the feet forward to the hands, come on halfway up. Now stay down in your forward bend and take the feet hip width apart. Hug on to the backs of the calves, let the head fall and get a good stretch in through the low back by letting your head just dangle there and bring the chest in contact with your thighs. On your exhale, you can really pull the abdominal wall up. You're lengthening through the backs of the legs. Okay, now we're going to take this down into a squat. You're going to take your feet wider and then you let your hips drop. Now I'm going to show this. You might do this version. You might do this version for the knees, or you might be able to come down into your squat. If so, the arms are on the insides of the feet. The hands come forward. You can let your head fall to come into a wonderful low back stretch. And 2 more breaths. Fantastic. Now the hands come in front of your feet and you're going to lift your bum, lift your legs and straighten the legs. Feet are still hip width apart. And you pull up from the bum bones and you feel all 4 corners of the feet pressing down as the inner thighs are moving up and back. Okay, so good. Now just take the hands are on the outsides of the feet. So you're bringing yourself into a little further fold, more of a hairpin down. And of course, if it's a bit much of the hamstrings, keep the knees bent. Now from there, bend the knees and take the hands together in prayer position. Do come into a high squat with the elbows pressing into the knees. And then let the hips drop. You're letting the hips sit back so you're in a chair position. Your hamstrings are parallel to the floor. You lift the chin and you take 1 breath. Exhale, then inhale and lift the arms. Extend up the arms overhead. Now you can take the hands behind. Interlace through the fingers as you slide the shoulder blades down. Lift the toes to press down through the feet. And then you can breathe in and lift the eyes. And now exhale and fold forward into your forward fold. Get the elbows back and reach the wrists out and then let your head dangle as you're pulling right up from your core. You keep the arms actively reaching out to lengthen. Beautiful reach. And now you can breathe in, lift, draw all the way back up. Lift the arms, lift the chest. And now you can take the hands to the waist. And now take the left arm back, take the left foot back, turn that foot parallel, extend and gaze just beyond the middle finger, coming right into Tadasana. You've got that left shoulder blade coming back. Breathe in, rise from the crown of the head, exhale over to that right side. sliding down the leg if you can get down. But if your hip does come forward, then it can keep your arm high. And that way you can keep the side waist opening. Your chin is in as you're gazing up to the ceiling. Breath, breath. Open through the chest in your best position. 2 more breaths. Keep that left waist coming back the whole time as the chin is in, as you're looking up. And then you can breathe in, look down, exhale. Breathe in, lift, slide all the way back up, taking that arm out. Turn this right foot parallel, left toes to face straight back. Open the chest, lift from the rib cage, shoulder back, right waist back. Breathe in, exhale over to that left side. As you tip over to the left, keep your right waist back, the right foot pressing down. The front left knee is straight, but not locked. So if you need to see what I mean, here's a soft knee and here's a locked knee. So there's soft and there's locked. And that really changes the spine, as you can see. So you want to keep the right waist back and not let the spine go back too far, which is what happens when you lock your knee. So you want to keep the right waist back as you reach out right through the top of the head. The underside waist is also reaching out. And you're breathing. Good. 1 more breath. Now breathe in, come all the way back up. Turn the feet parallel. Step the left foot over to the left. Take the hands onto the low back. Breathe in, press the low back up, tips, and send the elbows back. Lift the left arm, and then exhale and extend out over that right leg. Take the left hand on the outside of the right foot technically, and then you turn to the right. Otherwise, the easier way is to take the hand in front, come up onto 10 fingers and push. So you're pushing into the ground to rotate your spine. So you can see this is our first rotation because we've lengthened our spine. So you're pulling your right bum back, pulling up from there, and then you're going to breathe in and lift. Come up, open from the chest, windmill the arm around, take the hands onto the back. Your hips do square forward. I just want to show you from the front. You have your left foot over, so it's never in front because that would cause torque. So you keep your feet hip width apart so your hips can square. And then you take the right arm up, you take an inhale, makes so much sense. And then you exhale and extend out over the leg. You're technically on the outside of that left foot, unless you need to take your right hand in front of the left foot because that works better for your back. You exhale, you push into the hand and you turn to your left as you're pulling the left waist back. Your breathing is constant, in and out through the nose. Breath. Breath. Okay, now you can gaze down, breathe in, lift, come all the way back up. We'll turn and face parallel and have your feet just a little wider than the hips. Take a lift of the eyes, open the chest, exhale the hands behind, grabbing the outside elbows. Take an inhale, lift, and then exhale and tuck the chin and breathe in and out through the nose. Now stand like a really strong superhero by pulling up from the ribs, pressing into the feet, pulling the ribs back so you're nicely opened through your lungs. Now, if you can do prayer position, please change the hands into prayer, pressing. Wish I was there to help. And just make sure the pinkies press first in order to get that needling up of the back, into the back. And your chin is tucked again. Breathe in and out, be happy. You got up early, you made it. You're breathing open your body. You're expanding the breath into your back in this very moment. This will increase the spinal nerve stimulation. And that'll just do so many good things for your energy today. So get a good tingling, good isolation of those nerves in the back by keeping the chin tucked. You're lengthening the upper neck. Okay, now take the inhale and step your left foot back, and your right foot is facing forward. Now we do the same position with the feet apart, and you inhale, gaze up, and then exhale and extend out over the inside of that right leg. You're pulling your right leg back as you reach out. As you pull up through that right thigh, stay with your breathing. And then you can breathe in, lift, come all the way up. We're going to do that one more time. Now make sure your body is facing forward. Try not to do this. Try not to turn to your left, but pull up, breathe in, gaze up. Exhale, extend over the inside of that right leg, reaching out. Pull up from the right thigh as you extend the rib cage over the leg. Your elbows are back. Keep your breathing constant so that as soon as you exhale and finish it fully, come into your next inhale. Good, here we go. Inhale, lift, come all the way back up. Now you can turn to your left, hips square to the other side. Breathe in, lift the eyes, gaze up. Exhale, extend over the inside of that left leg, reaching out. The hands keep pressing into the back as the elbows press back. The chin drops slightly as you reach out through the top of the head. Pulling up from that left thigh into the hip. So you're pulling that leg straight up. Inhale, lift. Come all the way back up, lifting from the rib cage. Again, press the elbows back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, and of course, if the hands are on the elbows, that's great. You're still getting the elbows back, reaching over the inside of that left leg. Keep pulling the left waist back. Lengthen from the core, the top of the head is reaching out. You keep pulling up through the left waist as the chin drops. So the backs of the legs are long. Do a tiny giggle. And here we go, lift. Come all the way back up, getting that core. Now you can just turn parallel. So you're parallel. And you keep the rib cage lifted. Extend the arms out to the side, opening from the chest. Turn the palms up, the thumbs come to the back. And then you lengthen from the waist. Inhale, extend out from the side waist. Take this arm behind and take the hand around. Lift and lengthen from the side. Feel the shoulder back as you rise. Take another breath. Keep that reach, plastering both feet down. And then you can breathe in and take both arms up. Open through the chest, extend. Reach through the palms, the shoulders slide down. Extend out from the opposite side. Keep the rib cage pulling back. Take this arm around. Lengthen from the waist, the arm in line with the ear as the breathing stays constant. Get that reach out from the waist. Keep the breathing full. And then you can take that arm down. Take your left arm behind. Step your left leg out. Turn the front right foot and come into a right angle, but see if you can keep your left waist back. So attempt not to reach forward with your waist. Keep it back as your waist reaches forward. Sorry, as your knee reaches forward. And you're gazing just beyond the middle fingers. Now just open through the chest. Strong and rising right from the top of the head. Let your feet ground. Now I'm noticing I need to step my right foot further forward to get into a full expression of the warrior. That'll open the hip more. So if you're that person too, I think you're gonna need to take your foot forward about 6 inches and then open from the chest. Keep the back left rib cage pulling back. Gaze beyond the middle fingers. Good. 4 more breaths as that front knee is extending forward. If it feels like the pose is long, like you're staying in a long time, go into the breathing to heat up and to create more openings. And that heat will allow you to feel just hot instead of long, which might help. So you keep the chest open and then we come back up. We face exactly the other direction. Turn the left toes out. Back right foot is parallel. Draw the right rib cage back. the right arm back as you're gazing beyond the middle fingers. Now just keep that right hip pulling back as the shoulders are wide, as the hands reach out, as that front left knee is bent. Rise right from the rib cage. Keep the chest open. Breathing. And 2 more breaths. Back leg strong. Okay, that was so good. Now we're going to turn the feet parallel. And then I want you to fold forward from the waist. The knees are bent. Take the hands down. And now turn towards your front right foot. Turn the right toes forward. And then come up onto your high lunge with the bum high as you send the heel back. And then do some pulses back. So you're going to rock and press into the heel. Just a little stimulation of the deep hip on the front. And good, 2 more. Okay, now do a split jump leap. Take the right arm on the outside. I'm just kidding. Take the right leg back. Take the left leg forward. Both hands on the inside into your high lunge. The heel reaches back to your rock. Get that calf extending and the heel reaching. A bit of a stirring in your front left hip. Good, and now just reach that heel back. Good, now take the right knee down. Keep the toes tucked under and lift from the torso as the palms press down and as the shoulder blades press down. Breathing. Lifting the eyes, keep the shoulders back. And then you can take the left hand on the outside and take your left leg back. Take your left leg in between. I know this can be challenging. If it is, please take your hands together and then take that right leg forward and then take the right hand on the outside. Lift from the rib cage, pulling up, stretch. And I apologize, I can't remember if I had the toes tucked under. If I didn't, you can on this side. It's a little bit more activation for your quad. You're lifting from the high, pull up from the chest, breathing. Great. And then you're going to take that knee back, come into your kneeling position, and we'll come right into breath of joy. So you're open, chest, lift through the rib cage, nose is clear. And then we'll take the arms to the outside. Feel free to blow your nose, breathing in and 27 pumps. Good. And then just settle. Space in between here and here. As you know, I love for you to have that frame. So the shoulders are back, chin is back slightly. Here's the great way to really work on that nice open chest. The chin is back slightly. Here we go. That was 3 breaths, 27 pumps again. 2 more cycles. Here's our second. Good. And then relaxing. 2 more breaths. Feel the energy. Feel yourself really pull the breath in strongly into the back of the nostrils to expand the upper back. Good. And here we go. Breathing in. Good. 3 regular breaths to settle and feel the effects of the poses. Good. Now we'll come on into all fours position, tabletop. Hands underneath the shoulders. Let's stretch in through the shoulders. Take the right arm under and across, palm up. Left arm on top. And then wriggle the wrists over as far as you can and release the forehead to the floor. Come into a deep breath, expanding into your upper back. One more full breath. And then you can slowly lift your head, change arms, taking that right arm across, reaching, get that over. While I get some water and reach across. Let the weight just drop right through and down into the floor. And one more deep breath in the posture. Expand into the upper back. Great. Now gently lift the head. Take the hands so they come apart into tabletop position again. Take an inhale and arc the back. Exhale and rise into your cat round, pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. Breathe in, gaze up again. Lift the eyes, arcing the bum bones high. And then you can exhale and round. And breathe in and lift. And exhale and round. One more time. Lift the eyes, inhale. And exhale to round. Now stay in the rounded position and feel your palms press as if they're going right through the earth, creating space in between the shoulder blades. One more breath in and out into the space there of the back. Okay, good. Now we're going to take both hands over to the left of your mat and then step your right foot forward. Take the right hand on the outside to prepare to come into pigeon and walk that right foot across. Now let your left knee come back, lower down to the right side of the buttock, and then turn and twist the left rib cage forward and then gaze over the right shoulder. You can lift the eyes as you press that left foot back and pull up from the chin, pull up from the rib cage, and be happy. Try not to just try to use your breathing. So you press the back left foot down and you're really dropping that front left hip as well. Okay, that's really good. Now you can turn back to the front and then take that heel in. And you're going to walk forward with the hands. So you're coming into a tucked pigeon position and you're pressing the heel into the perineum as you let your head go. So what I'm going for is a strong knee stretch here. Now, I just want to defend this pose. It's a really good stretch for the knee. And my sense is that it will feel good through the knee. So if the knee is fragile, this is a good way to open the joint without any weight bearing and with a lengthened spine. So I love this pose for keeping up the flexibility of the knee ligaments. And I find with all of my clients, the shoulders or the knees are the first to go, and generally it's the knees first that lose a lot of strength and range because of these ligaments that do start to get crusty at the age of 50. So it's really good to keep them stretching as much as you can. And then you can come on all the way back up. You take the hands in close, and then you're going to lift up, gaze up, and then take your left foot up off the floor. Now, if it's possible, reach back, grab onto that foot, pull the elbow back as you lift the eyes. You might need to take this right hand in a little closer, and then you look up. And if your leg is down, you can even do this too. So you press into your pigeon more and you lift. You still get the quad in either position. Square up the shoulders so you're pulling the ribs up and the chest bone straight forward as much as you can. I know it might be a bit turned, but as much as you can, try to lift and chest forward. One more breath. And then you can let that leg down. Now turn and rotate. Now take that right leg back and then both hands over to the right side. Take your left leg forward. Left hand on the outside to come into pigeon. Walking that left foot across. Come on down onto the left hip. Both hands are forward. Keep the back right foot pressing down as you square to your left. As you look up and you press, the hands are both towards the left side. Keep pressing that right foot down as you gaze up. Keep pulling up from the rib cage here, pressing into the hands. The back right foot is pressing down. Keep lifting from the rib cage. One thing that I always do, literally always do, is practice the Uddiyana Bandha. Like I'll do waves of pulling, like a Heimlich maneuver, pulling up and in, so that I'm continuing to get that rise from the rib cage down to the pubic bone. Okay, now you take the heel in, right into the pubic bone. Take an inhale, exhale, release to the floor. Let the head go. And you can still be, you're still tipped over to the left buttock, by the way. That's the strong stretch in through the knee. And of course, if it's too strong, you would have that ankle further out as it was in the pigeon position. And you stay with your breathing. Releasing forehead. One more breath. And then lift, draw all the way back up. Our next position is to open in through the quad. You're seeing if you could take that foot back and then you lift from the rib cage. And of course, you might press your foot back this way, press down, the thigh might come up off the floor. You lift up, you arc, you open the chest as you square the chest forward. And again, if you're holding on to the leg, you might be turned, it's okay. Just see how much you can turn forward. And you're pressing that elbow back as you rise from the rib cage. Elbow back, breathing steadily. Breath, breath. And then you can gently release that leg down, turning back to the front. And then you can come on all the way back and come onto your back. And we'll take the legs straight in front. Now for the grand finale, come into your your bridge pose. So have your feet hip width apart. Take the hands down to hold on to the heels if you can get them. Otherwise, just reach the hands down and then press into the feet. Send the tailbone away. Shoulder blades wriggle under so your neck is long. As you keep sending the tailbone away, you're breathing steadily, lengthening. Breath, breath. 2 more breaths. Your gaze to the ceiling because your neck is long, no chin tuck. Press the inside feet. Okay, now keep the tailbone up high. Lower your upper back down first. And I know sometimes they'll just come as one unit. Just see if you can. And then coming down. Good. Now you're going to pull the knees in super wide. Do a pulse of the knees apart. Let the elbows bend to get that length right through the backs of the low back. Good. Now with your heels off the floor, cross the right knee over the left. Hug the legs in. Good. Tailbone a little bit off the floor if you can, just a little, to get a deeper hip stretch. And then recross. Excellent. Pulling in, pulling in, pulling in. Fabulous. And then you can let your heels go. Now you can come right into Shavasana. Let the legs lengthen. And I had something wonderful to read to you this morning. I left it up on my desk, so I'm going to go grab it. And so I want you to come right into your Shavasana while I magically disappear, but you can still hear my voice. Now I love technology. So let your whole body go. Release into the floor. Let your shoulders rest back. That space in between the shoulder blades resting back. Feeling the chest open. Okay, good. So I'm just getting the reading. This is one of my very favorite people to listen to in the whole world. She is, outside of my mother, she is a dedicated writer who brings together some of the best literary voices in the world, researchers, scientists, poets, philosophers. She does many things. And she brought out a piece of poetry that is a new poet's writings. And I'm going to see if I can find it. In that I cut and pasted so many different things that I have to make sure I can find what she wrote. So let me go to here. Sorry, folks, I thought it was right here. To make anything, a photograph, a theorem, a poem, is to toss a handful of wildflower seeds into the world, knowing neither the type of soil they'll land in, nor the location of the landscape, nor the type of flowers that will bloom. Sometimes, oftentimes, the seeds come a bloom generations or civilizations later, in minds many disciplines or cultures or experiences apart. In the spring of 2018, shortly after Stephen Hawking returned his borrowed stardust to the cosmos, poet Marie Howe composed a poem inspired by his life's work, a stunning poem about our cosmic interbelonging. Now, this is where I sadly am not sure if I wrote down the right thing. I didn't. I wrote down another poem pasted to this. So I'm gonna offer this one up, and I'll read the other poem on Wednesday or tomorrow. Oh yeah, Wednesday. So this poem is entitled "Go Give the World." Go give the world. I do not crave to have thee mine alone, dear, keeping thy charms within my jealous sight. Go give the world the blessing of thy beauty, that other hearts may share of my delight. I do not ask thy love should be mine only, while others falter through the dreary night. Go kiss the tears from some wayfarer's vision, that other eyes may know the joy of light. Where days are sad and skies are hung with darkness, go, send a smile that sunshine may rife. Go, give a song, a word of kindly greeting to ease the sorrow of some lonely life. Go give the world. And sadly, I do not have the poet's name here. I thought I was so prepared. So as you lie back in Shavasana, just feel the entire weight of your body rest back. Notice if there's any area of your body that you could let go of a little further as I read you the poem that I originally found. And this one is written after Stephen Hawking's passed, by Marie Howe, entitled Singularity. Do you sometimes want to wake up to the singularity we once were? So compact, nobody needed a bed or food or money, nobody hiding in the school bathroom, or home alone, pulling open the drawer where the pills are kept. For every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. Remember the quote from Walt Whitman? There was no nature, no them, no tests to determine if the elephant grieves her calf or if the coral reefs feel pain. Trashed oceans don't speak English or Farsi or French. Would that we could wake up to what we were when we were ocean and before that. To when sky was earth and animal was energy and rock was liquid and stars were space and space was not at all nothing. Before we came to believe humans were so important, before this awful loneliness. Can molecules recall it, what once was, before anything happened? No. I know, we no ones, no was, no verb, no noun, only a tiny, tiny dot brimming with is, 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 all, everything, home. That Singularity by Marie Howe. So now you can take a deep breath into your singularity. And gently let your head roll from side to side. And then bend your knees, relax the head. Now take the arms overhead and get a great reach right through the fingertips. Stretch. And then you can exhale and just pull the knees into your chest. Gently rock. Pull in snug at the knees. Great. And then gently roll over to your left side. Good. Come on into seated position. We'll finish coming into feeling our intention that we would like to set for this week. How would you like to experience this coming week, the middle of summer? A time where there may be more adventure you could have. And give that intention a word. And then feel into the meaning of that word and how it feels. What is the feeling tone of that word? And imagine yourself feeling that way in a key part of your week where you may most need to remember the intention. Good, and then breathe in the feeling tone of the intention. Come on right back to this room. Fantastic. We'll bring our hands together and bow in namaste. Namaste. Have a wonderful day, you guys. I'm happy to send you Marie Howe's poem. I loved it. Fell in love with it yesterday. Just keep falling in love with poets. And have a fabulous day, week, and I'll see you in the morning. I can send you the recording if you need it. And have a great day. Thanks, Virginia.
Thank you, Celeste. Goodbye.
Bye, Sabine. You're welcome. Oh, hi.
Hey there.
How did you get weights at Canadian Tire?
I did not. No, it was Sunday. I'm gonna go today.
Oh, they're closed on Sunday? Or they're closed by the time you got there?
Yeah, I just didn't wanna stop and do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I'll go to probably this afternoon.
Great.
Oh, She's gone. Still.